Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda and this is Jar of Marbles.
And I'm Bob.
It's good to see you, Bob.
It's always good.
I know. Good. And today I'd like to talk a little bit about they loved you till you grew. There was a time when the love you received fit you perfectly. We've all been there. It wrapped around you who you were then, your questions, your fears, your unfinished edges, and it did its job well. It nurtured you at the level you were capable of living from.
Hey, do you ever get pre-annoyed, like you already know someone is about to piss you off?
Yeah, I think so. So it protected you when you were small enough, when you needed protection, guided you when you were unsure how to guide yourself, and affirmed you when your sense of self was still forming. That love was real, it mattered, it was not a lie. But love, like everything alive, has a context. They loved you until you grew. Maybe not loving you more now that you've grown. Growth is not betrayal, though it often feels like one to them and sometimes to you. When you leveled up, you didn't become ungrateful or disloyal, you became larger.
In 20 years, when kids ask about the 2020 toilet paper shortage, I'm going to be telling them we had to drag our asses across the lawn in the snow and uphill both ways.
Good story.
Yeah, far more interesting.
Your nervous system changed, your questions changed, your tolerance for limitation changed.
Could be said to changed.
Yeah. What once felt like care began to feel like containment.
We don't like containment.
No. What once felt like guidance began to feel like interference.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
And that shift can be deeply unsettling, especially when the people who loved you most are still offering you the old version of love.
How can it be so? But it is.
This is one of the hardest truths of becoming more mature. People can love you sincerely and still be unable to love who you're becoming.
Oh my God, that is so good. All right. That's not so good. That's not doing what I want it to do. There it is. Ha!
Is your button not working?
Yeah, that's right. I'll say it again for those in the cheap seats.
People can love you sincerely, but still be unable to love who you're becoming. Wow. So not because they're cruel, not because they're wrong, but because their love was calibrated to an earlier version of you.
So you really got to be sure about who you are, don't you? You got to know.
Yep.
And not be influenced by others' approval, so to speak.
Oh, yeah, it's a big one too. So old paradigms are not evil. They're just complete. They're done. Ancient history. They were built for survival, not expansion. You could say for belonging, not sovereignty, but for fitting in and not standing apart.
You're right, yeah, you're right.
When you grow, you don't just gain new abilities. You lose compatibility with systems that require you to stay the same. And there you have it.
There you have it. Got the right button this time.
Only Bob. And this is where grief enters.
I was hoping we'd skip the grief.
Yeah, no, because the old paradigms may still be well and alive. They may still function beautifully.
Yeah, for other people.
Yeah, for earlier stages, for different lives, but they no longer can be applied to your thinking, to your experiences, to who you are now, who you're becoming. Trying to force new growth through old frameworks will always feel like suffocation.
Dear ex, if I could go back to the day I met you, I would stay at home and cook rice, one by one.
Which ex are we talking about?
Oh, I cannot say.
So, what you need to understand as you move through this new level is this. Outgrowing a paradigm does not invalidate the love that existed within it.
Well, that's nice.
Hashtag, they loved you till you grew. You're not here to rewrite history in anger. You're here to carry forward wisdom without dragging forward limitation.
Oh, I like that.
I think the mistake many people make during growth is assuming that they must either reject the past entirely or remain loyal to it at the expense of their future. Neither is true. Integration, not abandonment, is the real work.
I was having a wild fantasy last Tuesday. Yes, I was. I was thinking about how that would be, like sleeping through the night, waking up to a clean house, a fit body, no wrinkles, and and all the laundry done and put away, a full-on buffet breakfast with no calories and $1 million in my wallet.
You've thought this through, haven't you?
I have. And you like my chances?
You got Buckley's, Bob. People can love you sincerely and still be unable to love who you are becoming.
Oh, okay.
You can honour what shaped you without allowing it to shape you anymore. Another difficult realisation is some people will try to love you backward. They will reference who you were. They will remind you of what used to work. They will frame your evolution as confusion, rebellion, or a loss of values. That is so true. But what they are really experiencing is displacement. Your growth destabilises the agreement they unconsciously made with the old you. And instead of renegotiating that agreement, they may try to pull you back into it. You must resist the urge to shrink in order to be understood. New growth requires new language, new boundaries, and new self-trust.
That's right. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, because you will not always be able to explain yourself in ways that feel satisfying to others because you are operating from lived experience, not theory. You're responding to an internal coherence that didn't exist before, and old paradigms cannot interpret data they were never designed to receive. This stage can feel lonely, and it can, and not because you lack love, but because you are transitioning between
ecosystems.
Very good. Yeah, absolutely. You're learning how to stand without constant validation, how to choose alignment over approval. The most important thing to remember is this: you are not responsible for making your growth comfortable for people who refuse to grow with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love that. Who refuse to grow with you.
That's right. And yet you are responsible for your own integrity. Move forward without contempt, and you should be able to speak without permission and choose without over-explaining. Some will meet you again at this new level and some won't. Both outcomes are natural. Growth is not the end of love. It is the end of love that requires you to stay small. Hashtag, they loved you till you grew. And that is not a loss. It is the beginning of a truer fidelity to yourself, to life, and to the version of love that can finally meet you where you are now.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So they loved you until you grew, and the ramifications, they loved you when you were small, when your voice was soft, your opinions unformed, your needs were simple, when you agreed easily, when you admired them without question, when your world was small enough to fit inside theirs.
Hey, what's made of leather and sounds like a sneeze? A shoe. A shoe, yeah.
Yeah, they loved you when you were convenient. Growth changes that.
Growth does, yes indeedy.
You began to think for yourself. You asked why. You said no. You formed boundaries. You chose differently. You outgrew old roles, the quiet one, the helper, the peacemaker, the golden child. You stopped shrinking to fit the places they designed for you. And suddenly the love felt different.
This is the you grew bit, isn't it?
Yes, became conditional as opposed to unconditional.
Oh, wow.
Tense. Withheld. You were told you had changed.
I hope so. I hope I've changed, yeah, because I've grown.
They say it as if growth was betrayal, as if evolving was ingratitude, as if becoming yourself was an act of rebellion instead of natural unfolding.
People have reacted to me like that, yeah.
Most of us have, and it's a bit of a shock when it actually happens. They loved you until you grew is not just a sentence, it's a realisation, and it carries weight.
I may look normal, but deep down I want to be an octopus so I can slap 8 people all at once.
Excellent.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
So meanwhile, as I was saying, the ramifications, confusion about love. When love disappears the moment you assert yourself, you begin to question what love is. Was it ever love? Or was it comfort, control, a decision you made when you were a kid, possession, loneliness, approval dependent on compliance? This confusion can follow you into adulthood. You may equate love with self-abandonment. You may fear that being fully yourself will always cost you connection. So you may be made to feel guilty for evolving. Growth becomes laced with guilt. Success feels like betrayal.
Oh, boy. You grew. Go for it. Grow more.
So, before we grew, independence can feel selfish. You were made to feel that way. You learn to dim your light to preserve relationships because somewhere along the way you internalise the message, if I grow, I lose love. And that belief is heavy and it is false.
Hear that, dwellers? It's false.
But it can take years to unlearn.
Yes, but we can unlearn things.
We can. Fear of outgrowing others, like we know when we are.
Yeah, you do. Sometimes I shock myself with the smart stuff I say and do, and other times I try to get out of the car with my seatbelt on.
Or you're on hold, and while you're waiting, you're looking for your phone.
Not sure it's a good idea to be announcing that publicly.
Well, that's rich coming from you. So, hashtag, they loved you before you grew. You may hesitate before levelling up in career, mindset, healing or ambition because you've seen what happens when you do. People pull away, they criticise, they attempt to shrink you back to your former size.
Some people really suck.
So you ask yourself, is becoming more worth losing? Is it more worth... I'll say that again. Is becoming more worth losing them?
Yeah, the answer's yes. I feel like I'm yelling at the TV.
For some it is the loneliness of becoming.
From now on, when I do something dumb in life, I'm just going to shout, plot twist, and go with it.
Growth often is lonely.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's kind of necessary because when you outgrow old environments, you stand in between worlds.
Nice.
You're no longer who you were, not yet surrounded by those aligned with who you are becoming. But this loneliness is not punishment, it is transition.
Transition.
Yes, it's an important transition. Then there's the awakening. The most powerful ramification is this. You begin to seek love that expands with you.
Yeah, I don't need a mood ring. I have a face.
That you do.
Well, you know.
You learn that real love does not fear your growth. It celebrates it. It adapts. It makes room. It says, become more. I am not threatened. It helps others to grow. They see the difference and they want that. And sometimes you must become that kind of love for yourself first.
Yeah, first. That's right.
They loved you when you were easy. The right people will love you when you are powerful.
Oh, yeah. Crikey, yeah. Look, it's not my fault the truth hurts. Here's a Band-Aid.
Well, yeah, hearing the truth for some, if not ready, need more than a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Growth reveals who is attached to your smallness and who is committed to your becoming.
Oh, yeah, like I say, keep growing.
That's right.
Oh, I like it, yeah.
There's a quiet, almost comical moment in personal growth when you realise you're not shrinking anymore to fit into old rooms. You're standing a little taller, speaking a little clearer, laughing a little freer. And somewhere in the background, a few familiar faces are squinting at you like you've just rearranged the furniture without permission. At first it feels strange. Growth isn't always fireworks and triumphant music.
It should be.
It should be. Sometimes it's more like looking in the mirror and thinking, oh, we're doing this now. There's pride blooming in your chest, soft but steady, because you can feel the difference. You pause before reacting. You choose rest over chaos. You say no without writing a 5-page apology in your head. And then you notice something else. Some people aren't clapping.
Hey, hold on a minute, we are. Where's the claps, man?
Can always get claps here.
That's right.
Some drift, some bristle, some quietly step back because the version of you they were comfortable with, the one who overextended, overexplained, overgave, is slowly retiring. And for them, it stings.
Yeah, this is what I'd say. I'd say, I won't just burn bridges anymore. I'll destroy portals between words. Yeah, you're not allowed near me if all you're going to do is carry toxicity.
Oh, boy, this is so good, Bob.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, destroy the portals. Yeah.
So even when you know you're on the right path, there's a tender ache in realising that not everyone is meant to walk beside this new version of you.
Yeah, true.
Inside, it's a mix of emotions, gratitude for how far you've come, grief for what's changing, and a flicker of doubt that whispers, was the old me easier to love? But here's the light-hearted truth. Growth isn't a popularity contest. It's a becoming.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
When you're truly comfortable in your own skin, not everyone will like you, but you won't care about it one bit.
That's right. It's a tough road to get there, isn't it?
Well, it can be, but not for a long time. It's just as well that we don't know exactly what's ahead of us at times. I'll say that. I've been accused of handling heavy situations so well, but behind the scenes there were times I was feeling like I was going insane. I'd lost my spark, I bled in silence, shattered in silence, and wore a smile that lied better than any mask could. It's many things, because I knew that what I was going through, it could only be done by me. I had to walk alone, and breaking generational curses and healing that while still fronting up at work and supporting others who are also going through their own hellish experiences. So many of us know this road, the road to waking up to those that, as I said, can't always walk on the future roads with you.
Overcoming obstacles, one of life's hopscotch situations.
Yeah. You're not shedding people out of arrogance. You're shedding patterns out of necessity. And the ones who fall away, well, they were often connected to the version of you that survived, not the version that's thriving.
They don't know what to do with the thriving you. It's a bit of a shame.
Hashtag, they loved you till you grew. The beautiful part is that as you keep going, despite the awkward pauses, the shifting dynamics, the occasional loneliness, you do start to feel something sturdier inside, a self-trust, a groundedness, a quiet joy that doesn't depend on applause.
And yet, here it is.
I can always count on you.
Yes, you can.
You begin to understand that the discomfort is proof of expansion. I remind myself when things get a bit uncomfortable that I'm growing. I am expanding. It's time, indeed, to grow.
Do you get a memo?
No, Bob, life gets a bit how you're going and you know that it's time to level up. Don't avoid it. Go through it. Feel it. But don't stay there. Well, that's what I tell myself anyway, and it works. That the emptier spaces are simply making room. That outgrowing certain rooms doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It means you're evolving. So you keep going. You can be a good person with a big heart and still tell people to bugger off when needed.
I feel better knowing this, but do you get all vengeful?
No, I don't get vengeful. I don't do revenge. I delete people.
Pete believed that too, didn't he?
Oh, he sure did. You keep choosing the version of you that feels aligned, even if it confuses people. You keep honouring your boundaries. You keep watering the parts of you that once were neglected. Because growth isn't about becoming someone unrecognisable. It's about finally becoming someone undeniable.
Oh, yeah, man. Undeniable, yeah.
Because the calmer you are, the clearer your thoughts. You move with strategy and not with crazed emotions. It's so important to be selfish with your time, your energy and space. That's all. Always remember, someone's effort is a reflection of their interest in you.
Oh, there we go, Marty. Oh, so true.
It is. There is something quietly magical that happens when you finally accept your own growth. Not the loud, performative kind of growth. Not the kind you post about, but the kind you feel in your bones.
Eat chocolate at the top of your list of things to do today. That way, at least, you'll get one thing done.
Oh, yes, very productive.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
So when you look back at who you were, instead of cringing, you nod with compassion. When you realise you survived things that once felt impossible, when you understand that you are no longer the person who tolerated less than you deserved.
Yeah, let me stop you right there. If it involves early mornings, sweating or people, that'll be a hard no.
Good to know, Bob.
Yeah.
Life begins to look different the moment you accept your growth.
Ah, yes.
And that is an absolute fact. I think of challenges I've had, say, in the last 3 years, and there were so many times I really struggled. I heard myself say for the first time in my life that I was struggling, and no answer seemed to come, no matter who I told or who I thought would help me. Perhaps I thought they would magically take away my pain and suffering. But as soon as I realised I was tipping into victim mentality, all the while being compassionate with myself,
Oh, yeah, that sounds a bit tricky.
well, I can honestly say it was. But the time came to stop suffering over my suffering and start in small, incremental slices to gain back some kind of balance. I was exhausted from my soul, so I had to acknowledge that. I missed people suddenly that were not in my life in any form. I started yearning for the impossible, to feel I belonged somewhere. I didn't know if I belonged and to whom. People I thought would stand by me didn't, and others absolutely did. Yes, so it was revealing. I found out who's who in the zoo.
Yeah, you did.
It was like there was this massive sweep through my life and leaving only those who would be walking with me on the next part of my journey.
So some were out?
Oh, yeah. My woes, it would seem, were just another set of challenges that collided with so many others around me who were also suffering from tremendous problems. No one could make me the centre of their world. My centre had died, literally, and I no longer knew who I was in relation to so many things. It was a lot. Point is, though, I was growing. I had grown and I could see it and appreciate it. Appreciate it from a perspective also that it was an age, a long time. It felt like that I had felt this kind of inner growth. When you feel, witness and are able to articulate clearly your own growth, you know you are. No one need tell you. And because I was, in this instance, my husband's full-time carer right up until he died, I had to unlearn my schedule and concerns and plan ahead. I could come back down to earth and be present. That time has been lonely, frazzling and frightening as everyone else had their families to raise and jobs to fulfill, businesses to run. My life stopped and went into a capsule of terminal illness and was a particularly grueling experience. And saying that, it was an honour and privilege to take my love to the end.
Yes, you did.
The world doesn't necessarily change, you do. And because you do, everything around you feels transformed.
True that. You know, many people find me difficult, but I'm never difficult when I'm alone, so it's not me.
How odd for you, Bob.
Yeah.
So when you accept your growth, you stop arguing with your past. It's just done. It's over. You've picked its bones for anything you'll take moving forward, and it's behind you. You stop wishing you'd known better. You understand that every version of you was doing the best they could with what they knew at the time.
I don't have to Google lyrics. I sing what I hear. Dancing queen, young and sweet, only 7 teeth.
Yeah. So that acceptance brings peace, and peace makes your life feel lighter. Suddenly your mornings feel calmer. Your decisions feel clearer. You don't chase validation the way you used to.
No more loop thinking.
None. You don't shrink to make others comfortable. You don't overextend yourself to earn love because you have learned something powerful. Respecting yourself is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
That's right, non-negotiable. And when you respect yourself, your entire life rearranges in the most magical ways.
Oh, yeah, that's so true.
Damn straight it is. Why would anybody bother getting their thinking straight and apply new strategies and kindness to oneself and get zero improvement?
I'm on a no chocolate diet.
Oh, yes.
Day 12 without chocolate. Lost hearing in my left eye.
12 days no chocolate. Couldn't go 12 hours. So you begin making kinder choices, not just toward others, but toward yourself. And the rewards are as good as anybody's experience of growing yourself out of nonsense. You rest when you're tired. You speak up when something's wrong. You walk away from what drains you. You say yes to what nourishes you. Those small, good decisions create a ripple effect.
Oh, yeah, I do like a good ripple effect. Yeah, well, I'm never donating blood again. Too many stupid questions. Whose blood is it? Where'd you get it? Why is it in a bucket?
Yeah, they're so nosy.
Yeah.
So what happens? You attract healthier relationships because you no longer accept disrespect. You find opportunities that align with your values because you know you're no longer trying to prove your worth.
There should be a calorie refund for things that didn't taste as good as you expected.
Right. Nothing worse than having a cheap meal and having it be disappointing. So experiencing joy without guilt because you know you've earned it. That magic isn't random, it's intentional.
Oh, yeah, and I'm not making any resolutions. I think it's time for the years to be better, not me.
Okay, then. So every time you choose honesty over pretending, every time you choose boundaries over burnout, every time you choose growth over comfort, every time you choose kindness over criticism, especially towards yourself, you are building a life that feels safe from the inside out.
And I say yeah.
And when you accept your growth, comparison loses its grip. You understand that your path is uniquely yours.
Hey, kids today are soft. I'm pretty sure I died once when I was like 7 and my mum made me walk it off.
And still go to school.
Yeah.
Your confidence becomes steady rather than loud. Your peace becomes protected rather than accidental.
Oh, Lord, yes, protect your peace. And I make a huge to-do list for today. Now I'm just trying to figure out who's going to do it for me.
And perhaps the most beautiful part, you start trusting yourself. You trust your intuition. You trust your resilience, and you trust your ability to handle what comes next. You're home, and that's it. And that is the end of this episode.
It is?
Yes, Bob, it is. So, say g'day to the family for me, give the gazelle my number, and we'll see you next time, okay? Okay then, bye. Bye!
Bye! Yeah.